Jamie McCullough. Welcome to New Hope. So nice to meet you. And your name is?
My name is Jessie.
Jessie. And do you prefer that I call you Jessie?
Yes.
Wonderful. It's nice to meet you, Jessie. Let me tell you a little bit about New Hope. We have been around for about 20 years, but I've been a licensed clinical practitioner for the last 10 years. I've worked with hospice and some medical social work, but the last 5 years I've been working with women in trauma and life transitions predominantly. Everything that you share with me today will be totally confidential between you and I. However, I am mandated to report anything that I feel that you may be a harm to yourself or to anyone else. Okay, great. Can you tell me what brought you in today?
Well, I'm having some issues. I just found out that my husband has been having an affair. I don't know how long he's been having the affair for, but I do know that I found out 6 months ago.
Okay, tell me, what is your husband's name?
His name is Phil.
Phil. And how long have you all been married?
We've been married for the last 20 years.
Okay, that's a long marriage. Did you get married young?
Yes, I did.
Okay, wonderful. And do you all have children?
We have 3 kids together, 2 boys and 1 girl.
Wonderful. Would you mind sharing their names and ages?
Sure. My 2 sons, their names are James, and I have Saul. James is 15, Saul is 19.
Okay.
And then I have Janelle, my daughter, she's 17.
Okay, wonderful. Can you tell me about your marriage?
Well, for the first 8 years, everything was great. We did everything together. Couldn't be happier. After that 8-year mark, I noticed that he picked up a lot with work, and he stopped coming home as much. He, was working a lot, and some of the time, his free time, he invested that time with hanging out with his friends, and it started to take a toll on me over the years. Where we got kids together, and I feel like I'm a single parent when I'm married. So
that's going to be very difficult and challenging. And how are you all still currently living in the same home?
No, he actually moved out the same week that I found out that he was being unfaithful, because it just got really bad. We weren't physically fighting each other, but we were involved in a lot of verbal altercations and in front of the kids. We did curse and carry on and stuff, and it wasn't good for the kids, so he did leave.
I'm really sorry to hear about that. It's a very challenging season, and I'm sure it feels very fearful and uncertain as you go into a new phase of your life.
It does.
And everything. How are the children adjusting to him being out of the home?
Well, my James, my 15-year-old, he and I forgot to tell you that Phil he's still with the girl he was cheating with, and she's like 20 years younger than him, and he wants to introduce them to my kids, and it's only been 6 months, and James is not really happy with it at all. I'm not happy with it. James is not happy with it. I think he's starting to really hate his father. Saul and Janelle, they've been seeing this go on for a while, so I guess they kind of suspected that something was going on. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of not really saying much about it, but James is really showing that he is very upset, and I'm concerned about James and his well-being.
Sounds like you're in a very stressful time period. Do you tell me about how you handle the stress and the grief and the different challenges that you're experiencing on a daily basis?
Well, I started drinking heavily, and that is typically on the weekends. I try to be some type of help to my kids during the weekdays so we can have some type of normalcy. But on the weekends, I just drink like I've never drank before.
Okay, so when you say you have been drinking heavily and you drink like you've never drank before, what do you mean exactly? Tell me, are you drinking every night? Are you exceeding the daily recommended limit of 2 beverages? What does that look like?
Absolutely. On the weekends, I like to drink Paul Masson, and that's a very intense liquor. And I don't use a chaser, and I drink until I don't remember anything. So I end up, I am able to drive myself home. It's usually when I make it home that I just forget about everything and just black out. It's been my coping mechanism.
So when you are intoxicated, you are engaging in high-risk behavior by operating a vehicle.
Yes, but I'm still able to drive myself home. I haven't been in an accident, but I can see where this is going, and that I probably shouldn't be driving when I'm that drunk.
Sure, and you have so much going on in your life that adding an accident, a DUI, or possibly harming another individual or yourself would certainly compound your life stressors and everything.
I don't need that.
I totally understand. Tell me about your network. Do you have a family? Do you have emotional support? Do you have individuals you can talk with and share with?
Well, my mom and my dad, they're still around, but they live in California. That's all the way across the country. So they've been there for me. We can talk, but they're not always available. And I just feel like it would be better if I had someone to speak to here. Like, all my time was invested in, with Phil.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't have any friends like that. I have associates that I might talk to, but I'm not going to share with them my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have friends.
Do you have hobbies or things you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Well, I enjoy arts and crafts, and I like cooking.
Okay.
Some things I like to do.
Okay, wonderful. I wonder if some of those hobbies might be a way that you might be able to network and meet people who are like-minded, and you can, enjoy doing things with them, such as the hobbies and the cooking and that type of thing. I know that locally we have the Dunedin Rec Center, and they offer classes on a weekly basis. And I myself, I've been on the meetup apps to meet other women in life transitions, and met a great group of women that they do lunch once a month. But I know there are some resources like that out there that we might be able to look further into if that's something you're interested in.
That may help out with, if I could meet someone and maybe I could just talk to somebody positive about what's going on in my life, have somebody to confide in at this time that is physically here.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. So do you work? Do you have a profession?
Well, I used to be a teacher. I have my degree, my bachelor's in fine arts, but I'm not currently working right now. I did put Phil on child support, so that's how we're surviving. I would like to find a job, but I think I first need to tackle this drinking issue. Mm-hmm.
So your divorce is finalized?
Well, I just filed for divorce 2 months ago.
Okay.
I was trying to stake it out to see if he would change,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not going to change. So I just filed a divorce, and we're currently trying to discover all of his assets, because I feel like he was keeping some of his financial information hidden from me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, and the attorney has somebody who is able to do that, an accountant on staff.
Right.
To look into that. Okay, very good. Do you have the children full-time, part-time?
Full-time.
Okay.
Full-time. He'll pick up the kids on the weekends sometimes. We told him not to bring the girl around the kids at this time, because the way how things ended, and they need to adjust, I need to adjust. And so he's just taking them to the parks and out to eat and whatnot, so they haven't met the girlfriend yet.
Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of responsibility managing the household and caring for the children and having them most nights of the week.
Yes.
And everything. And do you have any resources as far as help with them? Are you doing a lot of carpooling or helping with homework or things like that?
Well, there are only 2 that are in school, so they take the bus to school. Well, my daughter, she does work too, and it's local, so they could just take their bicycle. The oldest one, he's at a school, he's in college. He has a car.
Okay, wonderful.
So yeah, he's got a busy life going on, and I think that's good for him because it helps him stay busy and forget about, I don't know, forget, but just to keep his mind on something more than just reality.
And as far as your, is the drinking, do you feel like that's affecting your children?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Well, I can see you're very self-aware and you're very, very attentive as a mother, and seem to be very concerned and loving with them. So that's certainly a quality and a strength that we can build on as we move forward. As we've gone through the things like the divorce and the grieving and the girlfriend and having the primary responsibility for your children and the coping mechanism of drinking, let's talk about the drinking for a minute. Do you feel that it's something that you need outside assistance with to help, or is it something that you feel that you could begin to make some adjustments on your own?
I think that it has to be because of what's going on. Just
historically, that hasn't been a part.
Right. I've never done something like this. So maybe if I could get back on track to some type of positivity in my life, someone to confide in, I don't know, someone to just do things with. Maybe they have kids too. We could do things with the kids and stuff. I don't know. I need someone, right now. Sure. I have no one.
Sure. So going through the divorce and the life transition and the helping your kids and having the responsibility of them and the coping mechanism of alcohol and looking at possibly building a new career. And it sounds like you have wonderful hobbies. Of those things, what would you say are the top priorities for us to focus on at this time?
Maybe as you suggested earlier, maybe I can just find a club, and from there, maybe I can find someone to start doing things with.
Okay, and do you think that if you were to begin to invest more in the hobbies you enjoy, that might be able to replace maybe going to the bars on the weekends? Does that appeal to you, or is that?
Well, yeah, I am definitely trying to, because it's not me. This is not me, what I'm doing. So yeah, I am trying to find something to replace that.
And let's say you're in this scenario where you do find yourself at a bar this weekend and having had too much to drink. Do you have thoughts about maybe utilizing something like an Uber or a taxi, or something to make sure that you are keeping yourself safe and others safe? Does that sound like something you would be willing to do?
Well, I see myself driving fine, but you're right. I probably might need to just take an Uber if I'm going to do that, because that would be awful if something happens, because I do get really wasted. So yeah, I could probably see myself trying to do the Uber thing again.
Okay, so as far as things to do in the next week, how would you feel about maybe looking into the rec center or the meetup groups or something to begin to develop some hobbies and relationships? Are you emotionally, I know there are a couple local churches that have divorce recovery groups. Is that something you feel like you would benefit from at this time?
Well, I think I would just rather find like something like a friend or something. I don't want to be around divorce groups and stuff. I just want to find like a friend to do things with, like someone that might have kids and stuff like that. I don't need a lot of people around me. I just maybe one or two friends.
Okay. Well, great. So maybe you can look into something like that over the next week. And how about maybe making a plan for your weekend that might replace the going to the bar, or it'd be something that you would enjoy and would help you relax?
You're saying, so maybe I should go to find one of these clubs and probably see when they're having an outing and participate in that.
That sounds
Okay.
ideal if you think it's ideal.
Yeah, well, I think it is ideal if we're talking about finding something to do to distract me from, you know, the crap going on in my life right now.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, how about if we plan to meet next week at 4 o'clock, and we'll see about what new ventures you're into, and hopefully you'll connected with some new groups and some new hobbies, and we'll begin moving forward into the next phase of your life.
I think that would be great.
It was so nice to meet you, Jessie, and we'll see you next week at 4. Does that work?
Next week at 4, I'll be.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.